Raider Nation, welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast Network. We are here on the most notorious podcast. I am here with my brother representing TBH Sacramento. Our brother Steven El Presidente. How are you today, my brother?
Good, Will. It's good to be on here with you guys, man. Love it. Ready for the
Oh,
season to start.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
yeah.
Hey,
Little
now
ovation
I
there.
got my boy. Gets his ovation and everything, baby. He always walks in with swagger from that 916. Then we got our boy representing TBH West Coast. Our boy RVP, Matty B.
Hey, what's
Yes,
up, man?
sir. Yo, and guys, today's special guest is a man that bleeds silver and black, a former wide receiver who suited up for our Oakland Raiders, a loyal son of Al Davis, and someone whose legacy is still felt around Raider Nation with the black hole, baby, as an ambassador of our Raider Nation, our boy, for K
What is up, Black Hole? What's up, Raider Nation? Man, thank you so much for the invite. I thought you were going to give me some crickets, man. I was waiting for the crickets. Yeah, thanks, guys, for having me on board with the show. I'm loving it, man. This is a good group. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Hey, Kay, we love you. We love you on the show. We love you in person. We love you everywhere, man. You're a people person, a person of the people. You know, you've done a lot of things. You've had a great life. I'll be like, you were just telling us about it, how it all started, how it's kind of gone from
Yeah.
football to being a police officer to being a producer to being all over. Hey, we're going to go back to your life as a Raider.
Yeah.
Like I want to start there because I think this is a key point where all of us here together on this show, it's really why we're here. I mean, like the team, the Raiders. So I want
Yeah,
you to
bro.
take me back 1993. Day that you're drafted by the Jets. You're probably at home. What's going on? Tell us what K-Shed goes through when he hears his name being called across the podium, baby.
You know what? It was a bittersweet day. I by no means should I have been expecting to hear my name drafted on day one. Obviously, the first rounds and all that stuff were on day one. But something told me that I was going to have a party on day one because I thought I was going to hear my name that day. That day came and went. Even though my agent said, Kenny, there's no way you're getting drafted in those first rounds. I don't care. I'm still going to be ready. It was just my mindset was that I felt like, hey, you know what? I feel like I can compete with any receiver out there. It's just that, it wasn't my time yet. So after kind of dealing with so I kind of felt what Shador felt with on a much obviously smaller level, because if you think that you're getting drafted, and he had every right to think he was getting drafted day one, and then you don't get it, it's crushing to your psyche. So that's what it was. And then so I went to bed all sad, and because the phone didn't ring, and then the next morning, first thing out of the gate were the Jets. They called me, hey, you want to come to New York? I'm like, heck yeah, and it was on. Yeah.
All right. So you start in New York, then you walk into that, you do your thing, you go to Oakland. I want to
Yeah.
know, how was it the first time walking into that Raiders locker room?
Well, everything I heard about Oakland in general was just mind blowing. Just being down there in the Bay. I grew up in the Midwest, so all I really knew about were the Bears and then the Packers and everybody. And we would hear Mystique and mystery type stories about this team in silver and black. And you hear the Al Davises and everything, and the Marcus Allens, those guys. And then I just remember being on the bus and saying, "Okay, hey, where's Oakland?" Because we were driving up to training camp, and you pass through Oakland, and we were like going down 880, and Oakland was right there, and I was, "Whoa, shoot!" Like hit the doors and all that stuff. I'm just like, Oakland's right there. It was kind of nerve wracking, but then I was able to see, shoot, Oakland doesn't look scary. What are they? This is like a regular old downtown skyline. And then I had instant respect for the place, and then you go and you see to go to the stadium for the first time. And it's like you could feel the vibe just like you heard. It was like everything about this place was all silvered and blacked out. And it was like this high energy. So everything was confirmed that Oakland was the place that I should have been drafted and gone to first, because that turned my whole career around when I first became a Raider, because I fit better with that mode. I really did.
All right. So you walk in there. I mean, you're
Mhm.
obviously going to have other elder statesmen in there. What player took you under their wing? What player took you there and was like, hey, you know what, Kenny, let me show you the ropes. Let me show you how this is done here in the league.
Well, the first person I met who picked me up at the airport was Mr. Willie Brown, and and just right, and he just never portrayed himself as this Hall of Famer, the Willie Brown person, because he was just so personable. So when you gave me a fantastic compliment, like a people person, but those are the people who I met from the very beginning as Raiders, were those legends, and from that very beginning they were so gracious. And when I saw, like, because we stay in the hotel before the games and stuff like that, and the Hilton was like right there by the stadium, and so everything was just so compact with each other, and all the legends were so connected with the fans. They would have the crazy groups of fans outside the hotel all through the night before the game. And we'd go out there to sign autographs, and we'd invite them in and into the lobby, and we would just take photos and stuff. And it was a big deal. So I'm sitting there and watching. It's like I didn't see any of this stuff with New York or the Bears, you know, and it was just like mind blowing that it could be that different. But the history and the background of the Raiders is very special, and I can tell right away that this was going to be a fun ride.
Absolutely. Well, fellas, I mean, like, jump in. If you guys have any questions for Kenny at this time, now is the time to ask the man, the myth, the legend, K Shed, baby.
So while you're playing, what's your most memorable moment on the field? Whether it be not being in New York or Oakland or anywhere, like what's your most memorable memory that you have that sticks with you forever?
Well, I have a few. Obviously, my first main one is my first NFL touchdown. We were playing against San Diego at home, and we were getting our butts kicked by San Diego, and I didn't know it at the time that this was going to trigger a yearly back and forth war between me and Rodney Harrison. That's when Rodney was kind of up and coming with the Chargers and stuff. He was new, and I really didn't even know at the time that he went to Western Illinois. So we were battling each other at Western, because I went to Northern Iowa and they were in our conference. So we were battling each other back then in college. And so, and that was like my first real year, first playing, and the game was over with, and Billy Joe Hobart looked over at me and he said, "Go, go," and I said, "Okay." And when the ball snapped, when I ran past Rodney, ran past his other guys, and like a 50-yard bomb directly in the end zone, baby. It was like boom, and Rodney came up to me, "God dang it, Kenny!" And then I'm just like, but I was so mad that we were losing this game that I threw the football away and stormed to the bench and threw my helmet down, and I was mad. And so my dad and my family was giving me a bad time because the camera was following because they were watching the game live, and the camera was following me, and this little headline says, Kenny Shedd scores his first NFL touchdown, and here I am pouting and screaming mad because we're losing, and I didn't keep the football that I just caught for our first touchdown. So, but
Man.
I think that's one of the main reasons why Mr. Davis liked me so much is because I didn't tolerate losing, especially to teams that we should have obviously been dominating, and stuff. So it hurt to lose because I'll tell you why. That same season was the first year that the team came back to Oakland, and I remember we lost another game we should have won. And as we were leaving the stadium, I was with my mom this time, and the place was packed with fans. But this time they're not happy. They're screaming and go back to LA and do all this. And this one dude threw something at my car, and I looked at my mom, and she looked at me. She's like, "What was that?" I parked my car, and I got out, and I got in the dude's face. I said, "Hey, dude, what's up? You guys won't believe what he did. He broke down crying because he was so upset that his team was playing as bad as they were playing, and it was affected him so much that he was like in tears, like, you guys, we waited for you to come back, and you're playing like this." And he was so upset, and I was just like, dude, okay, we'll fix this. We'll fix this. That's how passionate our fans are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you guys turn it around that season? Did you guys come together in the locker room after that, or like
That's a big no.
did anything happen that, or?
It's
No,
like big no.
because and I don't exactly know why. I mean, I know why. People didn't really believe me. Some people did, and I don't know if you guys believe this or not. I think you're seeing it too, but the refs have it in for the Raiders. There were games where, and I was seeing this when I was done playing. I'd watch the games as plain as day live now, and then the broadcasters are saying they got flagged for illegal tripping, and then they'll show the play, and our offensive lineman's legs not even close to that dude to trip him, but they threw a flag. So we were doomed. We were doomed. We should have had stronger years than we did, but we ended up 8-8 both times, and it was demoralizing because we just kept getting games taken from us, and that's hard to recover.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, Kenny, do you have any good Al Davis stories?
Oh, here we go.
I got a few. I'm not. No, I can't. I don't want to go there on that one.
Some that you can tell.
Yeah.
Well, just he commanded respect everywhere he went, and there's just something about the way he carried himself. And when I first got picked up by the Raiders, and I had forgotten about my performance at the combine. I had the third fastest time at the combine. It was only a 4.4. I didn't run my best, but I had the third fastest time.
He said only a 4.4. I pulled my hammy just thinking about it.
Not getting up off that couch after this.
Yeah, back in my whippersnapper days, man, I used to be able to get out. I mean, there was a couple times where I almost went head to head with Mr. James Jett to see. I don't know about that one. I mean, the dude won a gold medal in the Olympics and stuff for 401. So I'm kind of glad they didn't let that race happen. Yeah, but I did the combine, but I was so nervous that I false started like 3 times. I had to start over, but I had forgotten all about that. And that was the first thing that Al Davis said to me. He was like, "How does it feel to be a Raider now?" And I was just like, "Man, this feels great." He's like, "I remember you when you first came out of college. You were so raw and all that stuff. You false started like 3 or 4 times and stuff." And I'm just like, this guy's gonna be good, but he needed a little bit of seasoning and all that stuff. And I think Mr. Davis was excited to be able to finally be able to mold somebody like me, because as soon as I became a Raider, I started learning how to freaking play and going out there balling and and just terrorizing the people, but little old me out there making these tackles out there on special teams that made no sense, and I had that attitude. I had that Raider attitude. It just seems like that there was something lost, I think, with the swagger when they first came back, and it took them a minute. And I think that's kind of what might be going on now. But maybe Coach Carroll is the one to be able to kind of put everything together, because he's paved his way as a strong NFL coach, and I think he's could be perfect for the Raiders right now.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, let me give you a little hybrid question here, K-Shed, because
Yes,
we're
sir.
talking about the legendary Al Davis, right?
Yeah.
So you come over, first of all, I want to know how Al influenced you personally and professionally. But two, I want to know also how the culture inside the locker room of the Raiders is so much different than every other culture because of Al Davis.
Well, he he was someone who was bigger than life. You hear the stories, and there was Mr. Davis had his haters though too, and because of how well he took care of me, I would not let anybody get away with saying anything bad about him. And just because he was all knowing. And there was one particular time that we were playing. I was hurt, and we were playing in Baltimore, and for whatever reason, Baltimore. I mean, obviously they were a home game, so they were a little bit sparked and stuff. But on the field, like during pregame, they were hyped. They're a little bit more than normal. I think it's because it was the Ravens. They just became the Ravens, so it was like this really crazy environment. And this is what I'm trying to say. For whatever reason, our Raiders weren't hyped at all. You're going to pregame. It just wasn't no high energy. And Mr. Davis smelled that. He knew that these guys weren't ready, and they were going to get their butts kicked. He could just sense it. And he knew what I brought to the table. I didn't take any plays off. I practice. I'm up there diving for balls, even after the coaches said, "Don't dive anymore." I'm still diving for balls and stuff like that, because practices were like games to me. So I just couldn't be out there in the field. Mr. Davis came over there, grabbed me by my collar, said, "Kenny, get out there and get those guys all fired up." I'm like in street clothes, and he's trying to throw me out there, and I'm just like, "What am I supposed to do?" But he just knew it. And you can just tell that I mean, if he was younger, he would have probably gone out there and got in somebody's face and tossed somebody around and did it himself. He couldn't do it back in those days. And so he needed his high energy players to come together. And just for whatever reason, we didn't have the leadership. We didn't have the leadership, I think, that we needed out there on the field at the time. And so obviously that game we got shellacked like 44 to 3 or something like that, and everything. So he knew what was going to happen and how to change the outcome of a game like that. It's just, as people started criticizing him, he started backing off. But just like you would say, when he backs off, the team doesn't do well. So, right?
Yeah. So, Kenny, was that the just win moment that you got? That I'd be like, he had that just win baby mentality.
100%.
I'd be like, so that was the moment that you realized that was for real. He
Yeah.
wanted it just to win.
And he didn't care how he got it. But he's just, yeah. And in hindsight, if I was more prepared, like to like know that was coming, because he had my back. If I'd gone out there like, "Guys, look, man, you guys are getting," I probably should have done that, and he probably would have been like, "That's my guy." If I had more years in Oakland, I think I would have been. I think I would have made some more stats. I think I would have done some other things. It's just my luck started turning when Coach Gruden came, because I'm just being honest, guys. Gruden has his guys, and it just seemed like kind of off the bat he didn't want Al Davis's guys around. So like one by one, if you were Al Davis guys, you were getting that look and you could just tell your time was kind of winding down. I'm not blaming anything like that. I mean, yeah, I could have stepped my game up to how Gruden wanted it, but I was just like used to how Mr. Davis wants it, you know. And it just seemed like everything started changing. We would have team meetings and stuff like that where Coach Gruden would say, "Oh, they're making this big old deal about us against Kansas City. It's just like any old game." And I'm turning around like, "What?" And it's not. That's not the Raider way. The Raiders need to be unleashed. They can't be. You can't just you know take their teeth away, which it seems like that's what was going on. You know, so that's just my personal take.
With that, at the end of your tenure with the Raiders,
Yeah,
you guys had that big win against KC, and you and Leo Aragoose had a big part in that win.
we did.
Was that the '98 season?
Yeah, the '99 season. Yeah, ended up in the because that following year,
'99.
yeah, '99 season, and that was just a great game all the way around. But it started off like any old nightmare game between the Raiders and the Chiefs. Right away, I mean, Hasty gets a pick six. Then I think we fumbled, and then they got another touchdown, and then they kicked the field goal. So right away it was like 17-0. And people give me credit for the block. I didn't actually block the punt, but I just happened to be right there where when Marquise Walker blocked it, it came right to me. And it sounds strange, but something told me that I have to score with this ball. So if you see this play, I caught it midair and then I'm coming down and I just said, I got to go left because if I don't, I'm going to get tackled from behind. And somehow I was able to angle my body as soon as I caught the ball and as soon as my foot hit the ground, I bent over to the left, which took me to the left. And I think if I didn't do that, I would have gotten tackled from behind and maybe that would have been a turning point again back in the favor of Kansas City. But we hated each other. I hate Kansas City even still, you know. Yeah.
Don't we
We're all with you
all?
on that too,
Don't
but
we
we're all with
all?
you.
We all.
Well, look at you guys. You guys are in Denver, right? Doesn't that get hard sometimes?
They're
You
not
know
as bad as
what?
Kansas City fans. We can handle these guys. They're not. They still got a couple
Let's
more
be,
games to beat us before they can start talking.
let's be real, gay shit. I mean,
That's a
like
good
right
point.
now, they ain't winning either. So I'll be like, no room to talk. The only ones right now that have the room to talk is the one that's wearing the ring.
Yeah,
So,
right.
hey, now let's move on. I think K-Shed, all that being a Raider has brought you now to being
Yeah,
involved with the Black Hole family, man. It has led on to crazy things. I mean, like being on the podcast, uh, being an ambassador, being a guy that is going around, being a man of the people and seeing all the fans. So, how did you first get involved with the Black Hole after your playing days? How did this come about?
well, Steven Chavez came up to me one day and he grabbed me by the neck and he was like, "You're coming to the Sacramento Black Hole chapter, and you're gonna be our ambassador, and this is what you're gonna see." I'm just like, "Okay, man, all right." And he's a true Raider. That's how Raiders do it, man. They don't ask; they just tell you this is how you're gonna do it. So, no, but
Yeah.
to be honest with you, you guys, I have to keep it real. The East Bay started losing its vibe when it came to the Raider support and the Raider gatherings, Raider watch parties. There wasn't anything really going on, and it was just kind of strange because as a former Raider and knowing the type of hype that comes with the team, and I would want to like, okay, let me get some people together on a party out in the East Bay, and I couldn't find anyone to kind of back me up or whatever, and there wasn't any steady Raider watch parties going on out there, and I started missing that. And you can just kind of tell that the something was lacking. So I sent a message to Steven and out of the blue and said, "Hey, dude, do you guys have any Raider watch parties going on out there?" He's like, "Actually, we do." And from that point on, that changed things because I went out to Sacramento and I was able to see that the Sacramento Black Hole chapter is on fire right now with everything they
Yes,
got going on.
sir.
And I'm just like, okay, this is the new East Bay chapter right here is out in Sacramento, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You're killing it out there, my brother. You're killing it. Absolutely.
he's doing good. He's doing great. Yeah. So me being a part of that, I was able to kind of feel kind of like comforted in the fact that I'm not the only one who feels like the Raider support is kind of dying down and we have to do what we can to help with that. So a lot of things that we have planned are specifically with the purpose of reuniting the Raider hole, Black Hole, Raider Nation. Let's get each other together. We're having a party this Saturday in San Leandro at Ricky's, and the whole goal is try to bring that place back to how Ricky's used to be. We're flying in Lincoln Kennedy, who's like super excited to be a part of this, and and that's what we have to keep doing. Any excuse to get Raider Nation together, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice to have Cisco back in the Bay Area, man, because I'll be able to work with him more since we're so close together. I'm looking forward to Saturday. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Ricky San Leandro.
I'm gonna make that Al Davis speech to you too, Keisha. I'll be like, get your butt in there and hype them fools up. Let's go.
Hey, I want video of K Shed going in there, doing the Superman, kicking the door down, and bringing the juice, baby. We
Well,
need video confirmation.
on this particular time,
Holding a bottle of Woodson whiskey.
yeah, baby. But this particular time, I'm gonna be sitting back, Raider Will. I'm gonna be sitting back in the shadows because this is gonna be all about Lincoln Kennedy because of everything he does for the team now. He'll have like a guest spot on a kind of like a talk show out there, and he does not hold back. He is not happy with how these young Raiders are playing. And all these coaches keep getting fired all the time. It's the coaches or general managers stuff like that. No, it's the players. They're not getting it done. And that's why I love Lincoln. He's a really close friend of mine because he'll say that. He's like, I'm not impressed with this person. I'm not impressed with that person. We're talking like future Hall of Fames. Devontae Adams, that type of stuff. It's just like, how do you come from all that, then you get with our team and you forget how to play? So yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and so we feel like there's some things that we can get going, and at the same time, maybe we, like you said, Will, we video this stuff, get it on video, and we send it to the Las Vegas council members and let them know, hey, stop letting your motel people or hotel people sell tickets to the away teams, man. You're killing the spirit. So you might hear me say that on the camera.
Absolutely. Hey, let's black it out. Let's black it out, baby.
Yeah,
Hey,
baby.
K-Shed,
Yeah, brother.
you played a big part in this thing, July the 12th, 1 to 7 p.m. with San Leandro. I be like, we had Cisco on the show. He said, hey, our boy K-Shed made the phone call. We got it done. Got people going out there.
Yeah.
What is it like bringing back that energy to Ricky's, bringing back that juice to somewhere that brought you so many fond memories? And I know that you go to a lot of events, you're seen at rallies and in tailgates, and I mean, you're embraced with love from Raider Nation. How does that feel?
It's I want to enjoy it until my last day. I really do. I mean, there's just something special, and I lose people a lot, like, because you guys know I do the film, and so the film project that we have going on right now, Connected, is specifically done for the Raider Nation. I know we're talking about dedicating the project to mental health, and it can blow up broader down the road, and to all the other states and stuff like that. But right now, it's literally focused on 10 or so people who are affiliated with the Raiders in some capacity. And I'm selfish about that. I really want to make as keep things as tight with the nation as possible, because other teams don't have it like that, and they can't even recreate it because it's so deep in ground. But it was a little bit, I think, dormant. I think a lot of obviously East Bay, Oakland area fans aren't happy that the team left. So, but we have to kind of reach back out to those folk and say, hey, dude, they're still our team, and they need us. Like I said, I always go back to that day when the dude threw whatever that was at my car. The passion is very, very real, and I probably won't calm down that we need to keep pushing probably until the Raiders get their next Super Bowl trophy. I could probably slow things down a little bit when they get their trophy, but this going this long with this many teams and talented type of rosters and coming up empty year after year, it's a slap in the face to the Raider fans, and I hate it.
Absolutely. So,
yeah, baby.
What would you tell the younger generation of Raiders fans what the black hole represent?
Well, yeah. First of all, I would remind them that you can go over to England or Ireland and just be walking around and see it.
Wherever.
Yeah, wherever. It doesn't matter.
Mexico.
Australia. I mean, I'm from Iowa. You drive through Iowa, there's Raider flags, Raider license plates, and stuff like that all over the place. It's very, very real. Obviously, you might see with this younger generation a lot more Kansas City logos and all that stuff because they're hyped right now because they've been winning. But the Raider Nation is something that's it's almost like a religion, and the faith stays strong. Yeah, it stays strong no matter what. But the as far as like the young fans, it's tough. But what we kind of have to still do, I think, is do a lot better job of going to some of the schools and rewarding the kids for hard work, good grades, and all that stuff with like Raider goodie bags and Raider merch and all that stuff. I think a lot of the players, former players, and stuff like that, we can do a lot of good by reaching out to the younger Raider fans because they're probably not going to know too much about the Raiders because they haven't done anything and they've gone away. So, if we can, we need to build that fire again. And it starts with the young Raider fans. I'm glad you asked that question because it could be as simple as that, as, us alumni and, current Raiders and stuff like that. Let's go back out to the schools and stuff and get them hyped again. Reward them for reigniting that fire with the fans. Yeah. Great question.
I love it.
Honestly, like the youth is the future. We all have kids here, and we all know that we want to see the Raider Nation just keep growing and blowing up. So
yeah,
they're the future, man.
Send them to Sacramento because they got and obviously if I go out to Denver where you guys are, I know you guys got a fantastic thing going on. You guys, I mean, they just had like a year ago, I think, out in Arizona. It was like a Raider convention or something like that, which was huge.
Yeah, there was the Raider convention.
Yeah, and you see the videos. You see all these young kids. We need more of that. When was the last time you ever seen a Ravens convention like that wasn't in Baltimore?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Hey,
it's funny you say that, Ken. It's funny you say that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say it's funny you say that, Kenny, because man, since the off season's been, it feels like every weekend there's a Raider event somewhere.
Really?
I don't see that with any other team. I don't see a Niner event everywhere. I don't see Ravens. I don't even see a Chiefs event going on every weekend when it's not football. So every weekend it seems like there's a Raider event in Arizona, or there's one in Washington, or there's Reno, Sacramento, or just everywhere, man. We're going to one. It's not even football season yet. We're going to one this weekend. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And it's one of those things where, uh, you know, I there's just things that we can do if we had time to do it. Like say, uh, I always thought that if we keep addressing the issues like we're doing, we're going to be addressing the issues as far as like reuniting the Raider fans and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of people who lost faith, their feelings were hurt, all that stuff, and strong, leaders like you guys, for your, black hole clubs, the strong leaderships by setting up these events is going to be key. Because that's stuff that we can do. The players have to start learning how to play these tight games and coming up clutch in the end. I think that if anybody knew like a technically savvy guy who has all the Raider games tapes from back in the days, we should get that person to put one long tape together of all these bad ghost calls that the refs see, all the different things that we
I don't think there's
do.
enough time.
I know.
Yeah, we would be complaining for years, and that would be in
I know.
litigation.
If they just fine them, if they just started fining them, those things would start going away. I guarantee it. Like every bad call is a fine.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, I mean it's because that's not what's going on with other teams. No other team out there is getting treated like that. And I mean, I guess back in the days, the commissioner, Mr. Davis used to get into it and stuff, and so they kind of try to pay him back when they went back to Oakland and left. Okay, I get all that stuff, but the when the Raiders are strong and they're allowed to play and they don't get games taken from them, and it's a fair shot, the NFL is a fantastic place. It's just everything just works out so great. You got these great matchups in the end, but keeping the Raiders down in that type of capacity, like from the NFL, I was at the freaking Super Bowl in San Diego, where the Buccaneers, they were given an intro that was nuts. The Raiders came in their field entry. They had a couple clips of Timmy Brown catching a couple balls, Jay Rice doing a couple things here and there, and then all of a sudden, here are the Raiders and stuff, and then they come in, and this was after that the staff into the stadium told the Black Hole fans you couldn't wear anything metal. They had to take off all their gear, all the spikes, everything. You couldn't go in there with that, so that was a disadvantage. And then when the Buccaneers were called into the stadium, it went dark. Then you hear this grumbling, then the big old screen came on, and you see this little Raider dinghy in the boat in the water, and then all of a sudden you see this freaking big old boat pirate ship that's decked out with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in, and all these guns, boom, blew up the freaking little Raider dinghy, and then just the smoke came up, rockets around the stadium, and then here come the freaking Buccaneers. You know, that's how the Raiders are treated, man, and that's the part it burns me, because a lot of good people, it's staff for the Raiders who are losing their jobs because you can't, somebody has to be to blame on a poor season, so we have to put it all together, and everybody has to step up this year. And I love how you guys are setting it up. Let's black out this year, game by game.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Don't
Yes,
wear white in the
sir.
games either, man. Black, man. Everybody in black.
Black it out, baby. Hey, we are
It
blacking
starts
out
with
the
making
season.
sure Will's at the home opener.
Yeah, everybody follows Will. Everybody follows Will, man.
Oh,
Yes, you got a cult
Steven
following,
is the
my brother.
lead. Steven is leading the charge. And you know what? We all have a great leader in Mark Jones, man. He's at the top of the black hole right now. Much love to our brother. We want to
Much
thank
love,
you
Mark
for
Jones.
allowing this to use our logos and for allowing us to, you know what, just kick ass and take names now, man. We're just taking off right now. We're at the Golden Nugget, guys. Make sure you stop by. Make sure you reserve your rooms. We're going to have buses going to the stadium. Let's black it out. We have events going on nationwide, baby, starting year 365. So that's what we're going to be doing all year long. We are Raidered. Oh, baby.
What?
So
I love it,
just had
brother.
to let that go. Had to
Yeah,
let that
yeah.
one go, man.
Hey,
But guys,
that
go
might be
ahead.
my
Go ahead,
cue,
Kenny.
brother. That might be my cue. I'm going. I'm going to go because I actually got to get ready, and there's a bunch of stuff that I need to get. We're going to be paying homage to Raider Mort, who recently passed away. You know, Cisco asked me to get a portrait of Raider Mort, and he was one of the announcers, I think, in Oakland. What a big name, highly associated with the team, true dedicated Raider supporter. So we're going to be honoring him. Obviously, we're going to be honoring Nick, and of course, we're going to be honoring Rob Rivera. So it's going to be a very sentimental occasion this weekend and stuff. But let's just keep it going. I'm feeding off you guys. I love what you guys do. Thank you again for having me on board. I'd love to be able to get back on again sometime soon. Until then, peace out, brothers. I love you.
Yes,
Salute.
sir. Thank you.
Later, Kate.
All right, brothers. Take care.